Hello all. So I'm finally getting to Fata Morgana, which I've been wanting to play for a hot second. And I thought, this would be a good game to put on YouTube. I primarily stream on Twitch, if you didn't know. And you can catch most of my streams linked below or whatever. I'm not going to spiel about that. But essentially, I've been wanting to play it for a second. It looks good. I don't know anything about this game. I've just had a lot of recommendations for it, so it's been on my play list for a second. I just haven't been able to get to it, so I'm hoping to get through this, and hopefully I can stay consistent and actually finish this. So if you enjoy this, let me know. Maybe it'll motivate me to continue, honestly, and to keep at it. But I guess let's get into the game. God, the piano in this game is pretty gorgeous already, just like to start. Like before I even go into it, this menu having this fills my little child brain. I'm a grown woman. But anyway, fills the like feeling in my brain of like smashing the keys. Okay, let's get to it. Very ambient. There is a house. That sits beyond dark, dense woods. Like the world fading into view after a dream. That old mansion appears before you. Without realizing it. You instinctively accept as truth the events unfolding before you. The capitalized U is a choice. The house lives in perpetuity, an amalgam of myriad fates and generations. No one knows who first said. That the mansion was cursed. The musics remind me a lot of Nier. I hate to be Nier-brained and be the person that relates every cool music like this to Nier, but like anything with piano, like, oh, that's Nier. Sorry, but I do be Nier-brained. It's pretty. The colors so far are really nice. I like it. It's very like pretty, but like spooky vibes. Is that a train? That's a train. Okay. From the looks of this might be like, I don't know the timeline, but like old. The house in Fata Morgana. Like the, I don't know, like 1900s, 1800s? I don't know. Trains existed? That's the 1900s. But like, not much else. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Have mercy on me, O Father. And cast their souls into eternal damnation. I'm really into these vibes so far, just off the bat. Like, it seems very cool. I like the music and the art style. I was looking down upon a corpse, my own corpse. I was afflicted with great despair at the sight of it being dragged to the place of my crucifixion. My soul crumbled, and I was wholly extinguished. Indeed, I did once lose everything. However, as I faded into darkness everlasting, I heard a voice calling out to me. And so, I vowed once more that no matter how long it may take, how great the obstacles that stand in my way, or what form you may assume, I shall come back for you. Oh, is this a romance? That I must return to that house. Maybe platonic soulmates. I don't know. So I ask of you, please wait until this mutilated body arrives there once more. Mutilated, huh? Your consciousness, wavering like a ship at sea, was slowly drawn back to the surface. With each new breath, feeling gradually return to your fingers. Master, you could hear the pattering of rain from somewhere. Master, and the sound of a crackling fire. I'm, like, the art style is so, like, watercolory. I'm such a fan so far. Wake up, Master. Creak, creak, creak. Wake up. Ooh. That sounded crackly, huh? It's kind of a little uncomfortable. I don't know if it sounds like a fire. When you came to, you were rocking back and forth in a rocking chair. The room was dimly lit. Aside from the flickering of the fireplace, there was no other illumination. No light shone through the closed windows. There was only the pitter-patter of rain on the glass. It was as though the whole mansion had been enveloped in darkness. Oh, splendid! You have finally awoken. Someone called out to you. You were about to search the room, but that turned out to be unnecessary. The source of the voice was crouching beside the chair, looking up at you with emerald eyes. Oh, okay. A maid? Good morning, Master. Good morning? Oh, what? Good morning. Oh, those are choices. What's the matter? Oh, this is the menu. I was like, my God, I was looking at this and I was like, what is this? What is this weird? What is this? Like, I thought it was some like nonsense words. Okay, I understand. What's the matter? Are you still waking up? You seem rather drowsy. Come now, you must gather yourself. Though I am glad to hear your voice. I've simply been waiting so long for this moment. Tending the mansion all by my lonesome, ensuring it was ready for your return, whenever that time may be. When I caught sight of you through the window, my heart fluttered. The time had finally arrived. You were perplexed. This woman who looked like a maid seemed to know you, but you had no memory of her. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? Interesting. I have some wonderful chamomile leaves, if you would like. Or perhaps your tastes have changed since last we met. How long ago was that? When did last we meet? Tell me, Master, what would you like? I beg your pardon. I allowed myself to get too excited. But I hope you will be sympathetic, Master. I'm just utterly elated that I could see you again. The woman appeared to be genuinely delighted that you had awoken, but she seemed to lack the energy typical of her age. But she's like either immortal or like 500 or something, you know? Or perhaps life was a more appropriate word than energy. But the gloom extended beyond the maid. It seemed to encompass the entire mansion. The plaster walls illuminated by the fireplace, and the rose engravings and the ebony pillars felt vaguely familiar. But a crushing sense of claustrophobia overpowered that familiarity. It seemed as though the house wasn't interested in accepting you just yet. Oh my! Do you not know who I am? Do you not know who you are, either? That is quite the predicament. If you cannot remember who you are, then who am I to serve? The woman's face was pale, almost as though a faint chill ran down your spine. It's so interesting that you and your, like, keeps being capitalized when we're talking about ourselves. I wonder if that's because we don't know our name yet? You are the oh. Okay. You are the master of this house. Though it would seem you have no memories of such. Quite the dilemma. If you know not who you are, then you are no different than a stranger to me, no. Indeed, you have returned, but from where? That I cannot say. Then how about this? I'm a servant of this mansion, and as such, I am familiar with the many incidents that have taken place here. I shall show you the history of this house, master. That will surely allow you to recall who you are. The freshly awakened gears in your head began to turn as you mulled things over. The maid had called you the master of this house. But without a single mirror in the room, you had no way of seeing what you looked like. Unable to decide, you reflexively nodded. Let us be off then. And fear not, I merely entreat you not to let go of my hand. Should you hold it tightly, you need not worry about being washed away by the waves of history. Waves of history, huh? What's that mean? No matter what happens, you mustn't let go of my hand. I feel like we're gonna let go of her hand. Ooh, I love this art style so much so far. Your hand in hers, you followed the maid's lead through the hall. The air within the mansion was oppressive, as though a black miasma hovered within. There's not a lot of color here. I wonder if that's like some sort of, I don't know, storytelling device in itself. The house was bleak and barren, hardly a trace of color to be found. You came across an open window. Beyond it lay nothing but darkness. Neither sunlight nor moonlight could be seen. There were no chirping birds, no rustling glass, no signs of life at all. Everything that would normally give color to the world had vanished entirely. The only other presence was that of the maid. Following her lead, you proceeded through the mansion. After some time, you arrived at a double door, the glass within shattered. The door, once pure white, had long since faded into a dull gray. It appeared to lead to the back garden. You could hear children laughing on the other side. Kids exist? Like, okay. Though it is in the state you see now, a beautiful, beautiful garden once lay beyond these doors. The owner of the time enjoyed gathering rare species of rose from all across the world. Is that me? Am I the owner of the time? Maybe. Because I know she was like, maybe you aren't you now. Which is like true, because it's like, I don't have the memory, so I'm not the, like her, I'm not the me that she knew. I don't know. It's, you know what I mean. At its grandest, it seemed every flower was in constant competition for the most majestic bloom. Would you like to see this wonderful era of splendor and prosperity? What? How would she do that? I very much hope it is to your liking, master. The maid opened the doors to the back garden. A sudden gust of wind brushed across your face, forcing you to close your eyes as you followed the maid out of the doors. When you next opened your eyes, the world was no longer blanketed in shadows. The first door. Sorry, my cat's up to no good. 1603. 1603! I was like 1900s. Now I feel quite silly. 1603. Okay. Just by the in-game menu. Okay. I discovered that accidentally. I see. The mansion had an alluring air of beauty about it in that era. It was almost like something out of a fairy tale. So is this a memory? This period of history could perhaps be described as a symphony of destruction. Ooh, it's kind of messed up music. As cumbersome principles of old came crashing down. Freed from the day-to-day oppression of these antiquated precepts, the people seemed to hark back to the more poetic, expressive ways of old. They took these newly blossoming emotions in hand, and with them, they wrote literature, painted portraits, composed theater, and found love. God, this is beautiful. I love this music so far. Even the church, which had maintained authority throughout the Middle Ages, embraced the changing times, adopting the culture's flowering sense of aesthetic. War would break out not 20 years from then, plucking the ripened era from the tree of history, but that is of no concern to us now. At the time, it was still what people referred to as the Golden Age, a period of furor for all those who were there. Now, let us take a slight detour. No, we will not be changing locations. This is a tale about the mansion, from beginning to end. We will, however, be moving through time, say about 8 years into the past. A very wealthy family lived in the house then. The mother and father, brother and sister, all had distinctive, beautiful flaxen hair. I was always enamored by their hair. By contrast, mine is the color of a wet crow. See, there I am, standing around looking like a fool. I was happy back then. And what reason did I have not to be, afforded the opportunity to attend to such a beautiful home? So I poured my heart into serving that family. Listen closely, if you would. That soft, fleeting sound that could only be a young girl singing. Can you hear it? La 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 la. The girl you see, cheerfully picking crimson roses and singing like a songbird, was called Nelly. Though young, she sang with elegance. Nelly was deeply fond of the house's garden, and she would often spend her afternoons there. Gorgeous roses gathered from all across the world bloomed in the garden. They were given the utmost care and even had their thorns removed, so young Nelly would not hurt herself naturally. The light brown-haired girl carefully plucked petals from the roses, gathering them up as she sang. Her voice was like music played by fairies. Nay, the sight of her was like an angel descended from heaven. Oh dear, please don't look at me like that. I admit I was being rather fanciful. But what is a woman if not fanciful? Little bird, singing night and day. For your little birdie heart, sing your woes away. Pretty flowers all around the little birds. And even when the sun comes up, Oh, dearest Mel, I've forgotten what comes next. Are you listening? Nelly was, as a matter of fact, not the only visitor of the rose garden that day. She always came with her older brother, Mel. The young siblings were inseparable. Mel adored his little sister, who, in turn, pined for his attention. The sight of the two innocent children cuddling together, not yet shackled by fear for the future, was truly heartwarming. That day, Mel was sitting in the shade of a tree reading a book. Sure, you're aware, in their time, books could not yet be mass-produced. What he was reading had been copied by a scribe. I presume he had borrowed it from the church. The book, having passed through many hands over many years, was visibly worn, but I suppose that just speaks to its importance. It was, in fact, a Latin grammar textbook he was reading. Mel was a clever boy. He had attended church from a very young age, where a priest would instruct him in Latin grammar. So, at that time, I believe he was capable of reading even advanced text. Oh, dearest Mel, please. The young girl approached her brother, who was consumed by the text. In her hands, he carried a large pile of rose petals. I'm so curious where they're going with this. Like, is it just showing the splendor of the garden? I feel like we have to be getting something else here. Though his sister's shadow overlapped with the trees, the boys still did not notice. So Nelly puffed her cheeks, thrust out her slender arms, and let the petals fall. Ah!
Look, your head is covered in roses, Mel.
Oh, Nelly. You got petals on the book. This isn't mine. I can't afford to let it get dirty.
It's your fault, dearest Mel. I tried to get your attention. And besides, flowers won't get your book dirty.
I must raise the white flag. When did my little lady find herself such a sharp wit?
Well, waiting for you, dearest Mel. I waited, and you didn't so much as glance at me. I'll be an adult by the time you're done reading that book.
Wow, that soon?
That soon. Mother says girls grow up fast.
She may be right. In that case, we should do something together before you're all grown up. Surely you won't play with me any longer when you become an adult.
That's not true. I'll still play with you even when I'm grown up.
But grown-ups don't play, Nelly.
Fine. I'll stay a child forever then.
Didn't you just say you were about to grow up?
You're so mean, Mel.
I'm sorry. Please don't pout, my little lady. How about this? To make it up to you, I'll play whatever you want today.
Really? Do you mean it? I want to play make-believe.
Make-believe?
Make-believe. I'll be a princess taken captive by an evil kingdom, and you, dearest Mel, will be my valiant knight.
And then you
turn into a prince when you rescue me.
Sorry, I thought that was totally him for some reason. A knight can become a prince? Impressive.
They can. Knights and princes both have to be charming, so of course they can. Which is why it must be you, dearest Mel. No one else can be my prince or my knight.
While he may have appeared outwardly embarrassed as his rose-cheeked sister proclaimed prattlingly, I'm certain he was smiling on the inside. After a few months, he meekly knelt, bringing himself to eye level with Nelly and gently stroking her soft hair. All right, then. You are my princess, Nelly.
And not just anyone's princess, dearest Mel, but yours alone. So, don't be anyone else's prince but mine, okay?
Nelly. Geez, my princess is quite the fawner.
Is that bad? Does that make you dislike me?
Not at all. I'm proud to have you as my sister, Nelly. You mean more to me than anything in the world, my dear princess.
I love you, dearest Mel. You'll always be my prince, forever and ever.
Her mood quite improved. Nelly began humming the melody of the song she'd forgotten the lyrics to. Holding the skirt of her dress out from her body, the young girl pranced about the rose garden. Mel, his eyes on her back, gave a little shrug. Oh, Nelly, don't come crying to me if you trip running like that. But Mel was not entirely disapproving of his sister's excitement. He carefully brushed aside the petals on his book, set it in the shade of the tree, and began chasing after Nelly. They were picturesque siblings, brimming with hope. And at this time in their lives, there was nothing to jeopardize that hope. Would it not be wonderful if children could stay children forever, Master? As I see it, though, the pleasant, gentle times in our lives have value because they come to an end. Yeah, I agree, actually. She's saying, wouldn't you agree? And I totally agree. I mean, I think, memento mori, right? I think that really, I don't know. I don't think to a degree we would value our lives and the moments, like the good moments in our lives as much if, wasn't limited. I don't know. That's just me. Time continues to flow, impartial and without exception. And as such, everyone's childhood comes to an end. Be that as it may, does time also flow at the same speed for each individual? Hee. Okay. Now, let us take a trip down the river of time. I would very much be delighted if we could remain at this point in time, but unfortunately, we cannot. Please, don't let go of my hand, Master. Okay. This is interesting. Are we going forward in time with these two or just in general? Oh, these two. Okay. Oh, he's so lanky. I'll be on my way then. Oh, you usually stay for longer. Yes, I have an errand to run today. Thank you for your time, as always. Would you like the book back sometime next week? Next week or the week after. Sorry, I'm horrible at doing deep voices. I'm trying my best. Hold on to it as long as you'd like. But surely there are others who want to use it.
Not as sharp as you, Mel. Put yourself in my shoes and you'll understand. I want to give you any advantage you can get. Do you not believe me?
No, I believe you, Father. And I mean to do whatever I can to not disappoint you.
That's the spirit. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. I'm proud to have you as my pupil.
Pupil in the church? Apparently? Interesting.
Yes. Mel, do consider what we were talking about.
Going to university?
Indeed. If you do, I can introduce you to some accomplished instructors. There's very little left for me to teach you, and I believe you would make a fine priest, not prince. I still have my brain in the, prince storyline. It's an honorable thing, Mel, to devote yourself to the service of our Lord. He does not want to be a priest.
I'll give it some thought. If you'll excuse me then. I'll see you again.
Our doors are always open.
Farewell. Whether it's in the service or God, or the service of the church, it is an honorable profession, but theology... I wouldn't mind attending university, but I'm not sure. I kind of like to do something different, something more befitting of the times. As for what, though, I'm stumped. But I need to make up my mind soon. If I drag my feet for too long, even my father is liable to grow impatient. Mercy me. Young sire, blessed young sire, alms for the poor. This beggar. If I'm not mistaken, he's been outside the church since last week. Alms. The way he shakes his head. I can get a glimpse of his forehead under his hood. He's completely bald. Buy yourself some bread with this. Thank you very much. May the Lord bless your soul. Thanks, Lord. Oh no. Nelly's going to be cross if I don't hurry home. Curses, and it looks like it's going to rain. Master? Master? Oh, thank goodness. You appear to have a firm grasp on your consciousness. I was afraid you would accidentally let go of my hand. Now, Master, this is the period of time I truly wish to show you. The boy reading in the rose garden was now a fine young man. Nonetheless, he still bore the same gentle eyes as before, and he would from time to time show remnants of that innocent young boy. He was, in his own mind, still making the transition into adulthood, I suspect. Mel frequently visited the church, on Sundays to participate in Mass, of course, but more often to be tutored by the priest. In addition, he also attended a private school run by an eminent marquis. Though it was not a school where students had desks and sat in rows. They studied at Marquis' estate. Secondary and higher education was not the same as it is today, and Mel was considering university. The priest wanted to recruit him to the church, but Mel was having difficulty deciding what he should do. That he had such choices is envious, is it not? Good afternoon. I'm here to pick up my order. Is it ready? Sorry, I know I haven't commented on anything, but I have nothing to, I'm kind of lost right now. I feel like there's a lot happening. I'm not quite sure how I feel. I like it so far environmentally. It seems interesting, and I like the art style. But I think I'm supposed to be lost, right? But I definitely am. So I'm just kind of I don't know, guys. I don't know. Oh, all right. I'm here. I'm trying my hardest to absorb. I guess we're traveling through time, seeing all the occupants of the mansion so far. I ready and waiting, young Master Rhodes. Don't call me young master, please. I beg your pardon. And I seem to get my head out of the past. Your order's right here, sir. Mel had stopped at a jewelry store in the center of town on his way back from the church. The building was both a workshop and storefront, and the nobles of the area were deeply fond of the master's wares. He was so skilled, even the royal family had commissioned work from him. As a matter of fact, the wooden sign out front was engraved with a replica of a piece of his jewelry said to be displayed in the palace. As artistry flourished in this golden age, the number of shops selling luxurious items, such as jewelry, rose in kind. However, the clientele of these shops comprised a very narrow range of people.
May I have a look?
Of course, of course.
Good. It came out just as I hoped. Splendid work.
Can I afford to disappoint a loyal customer like yourself?
An admirable work ethic. I'm sure she'll love it.
Such a kind lad, young master. My boy back home could do well to learn a thing or two from you. Every man ought to show a woman some cordiality. Coming home to a cold fireplace is a sad thing indeed.
Again, please don't call me young master.
My apologies. I'll take this and... Oh, wait. That's definitely Mel. Sorry.
I'll take this and be on my way then.
Good day. If you find yourself in need of aught else, just let me know. I can make any jewelry you ask for. Come to me and your sweetheart's day will be sure as made. And I guarantee the two of you will have all sorts of fun when you give it to her. Okay. It's a sister?
Please, I don't have a sweetheart.
Huh? Well, that's a surprise. Sure, many girls are vying for your hand too, young Mr. Rhodes. A fine family, good looks, charming, and your future's all but...
I'll be on my way then. I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Good day. Come by again anytime.
Goodness. Maybe I'll say I want to study abroad or something. Patient as my father may be, that would certainly anger him. I can hear it now. You're wasting your God-given talents, boy. I could renounce my name and rank and go somewhere far away. Sounds like the kind of plan Nelly would come up with.
I like that as he's like walking home, we're seeing like kind of the path. As he drew closer to the mansion, the rich fragrance of roses grew more prominent. Over time, this distinctive scent had led visitors to refer to the house as Rose Manor. It was also probably a play on the flaxen-haired family's last name, Rhodes, which you heard the owner of the jewelry store say just moments earlier. The mansion looked quite different than it does now, no? The thickets of ivy covering the walls, and no rotten broken doors to be found. Oh, no thicket, sorry. I wonder what the Rhodes family would think if they saw the house in its present tragic condition. The sight of their abundantly blooming roses, a veritable symbol of prosperity long since withered and turned into soil. My apologies, I got a little sentimental there. Let us forget for a moment about our own time. I stayed out a little too long. Oh well, the sun still shines high in the sky. I'm sure it's... Oh! Oh, cute!
Dearest Mo, what took you so long? Where have you been? I've been waiting forever.
Nelly? You're not in the house?
Nope, you were taking so long I decided to wait by the gate. But you didn't notice me at all. Is that any way to treat a lady? All that studying's got your head stuck up in the clouds.
No, it hasn't, really. Also, you're heavy. Could you please get off my back?
Oh, she's so cute. Heavy?
I've
been gradually reducing the amount of sweets I eat, and I love sweets. To maintain my figure for a new dress, you call me heavy?
I didn't catch that. Were you saying a tongue twister?
You're such a dimwit, Mel. Jerk, blockhead, weakling, and obnoxious to boot.
Whatever. Oh, sorry, that was Mel. And obnoxious to boot. Whatever happened to the delightful young little girl that was once my sister? She'd probably throw a fit if I said that out loud.
I keep mixing them up. I don't know why, but like Mel and Nelly, I just like, I guess the names are similar enough where my brain really wants to like mix up their names slightly for some reason. Okay.
Should you really be outside, Nelly? You are the star of today's event.
It's fine. They can call it a birthday party, but I know it's just about fraternizing. It's obvious what Father's true motives are. He'll be gathering a bunch of boys from good families to look for someone to marry me off. Ugh, I have no interest in that at all.
Don't be like that, Nelly. They're all here for you. At least enjoy what you can of the party.
Ugh. I guess. And besides, it's not completely terrible. Look at this, dearest Mel. What do you think?
What do I think? About what?
About what? MELL. My new dress! It arrived! I'm wearing it! How could you not notice?
I didn't notice it was something I hadn't seen before, but you have so many dresses, Nelly, so...
But this is the dress I had made just for today! Look at the colors, they're so pretty! It's the work of a renowned dryer!
It is cute. I like the butterflies on it, honestly. I like the little beads in her hair, too. That's cute.
And this belt is just lovely! You see how it comes together to form a butterfly?
Oh.
I'm just absolutely in love with it! I think I'll be wearing this dress for a while to come. So, tell me, what do you think? Does it look good on me?
Yeah, it does. It's pretty. In some ways, I guess she is still a delightful little girl.
Oh, dearest Mel, I love you!
Whoa, what? Don't jump on me like that. Yeah.
Oh, you dropped something, and what have we here?
Wait, hold on. No, you can't have that yet.
Is it a present?
Give it back. I was going to give that to you later.
I knew it! It's for me! And just what could it be?
Hey, don't open it!
What's the big deal? It's going to be mine soon anyway, isn't it? Oh, I love it! A rose necklace! And this design, it's from the jeweler the royal family uses. Oh, my dearest Mel, you had this made just for me?
Oh, jeez. It defeats the purpose if you open it before the party.
Happiness is always better sooner rather than later, Mel. I think I'll put it right away. There, how does it look?
It's a little rose. Oh, that's cute. I guess it keeps the theme of the roses or whatever, the rose manor or something.
It looks lovely.
My prince is still the sweetest in the land.
Don't make such weird noises.
But why not? A prince always knows exactly what his princess wants. And this princess wanted some rose jewelry to go with her new dress. Understand?
Jeez, I sure don't have it easy playing your prince, Nelly. It might be about time you found a new one.
A prince is a prince because you can't just find one standing on the street corner. If you want to retire, dearest Mel, you're going to have to wait another 10 years.
That's a long time.
Or if you want to find yourself a new princess.
I'm not so...
You're about as romantic as a rock, dearest Mel. But worry not, your adorable sister will always be your princess. What more could you want?
Are you really allowed to be the drudge of that?
I mean, more than you. I mean more to you than any other girl in the world, do I... Ooh.
Okay. Oh, I didn't realize that would get... Oh, you can see all the outfits. That's cool. That's really pretty. I really like the dress design.
I mean more to you than any other girl in the world, do I not? Then that makes me your perfect princess. Hey, what was that laugh and it'll all be over soon laugh? You're always telling me...
I butcher that sentence so much.
Hey, what was that laugh and it'll all be over soon laugh? You're always telling me I mean more to you than anyone...
Yeah, you do. More than anyone in the world, my beloved baby sister.
I'll take good care of that necklace. Thank you, my dearest Mel.
Well, if you're happy with it, then so am I. You're very welcome. Now back into the house with you. Can't have a party without the guest of honor. Do you know if anyone else is here yet?
Nope. I imagine they'll be here soon, though. Were you down at the church again today, Mel?
Yeah, there was something I didn't know how to translate, so I went to look it up.
Wow, so diligent. I can't say I really like the priest there personally.
Actually, I kind of feel the same way.
What? Really? Why?
Well, you know, I have my reasons.
So even you don't like the priest, huh? Let's skip Mass on Sunday then. We can go play...
No skipping church. As grew the brother, so too did the sister. That day, Nelly would be turning 14, and Mel, 3 years her senior, was 17. You saw it with your own eyes, so you know just how much she has changed. She was always a cute little girl, and she grew into an even more beautiful young woman. I mean, is 14 really old enough to say she's young? I guess in the 1800s. I was like... Though she was only 14, she was well on her way to becoming a fine lady. As for her character, well... But a girl like that has her own charms, would you not say? Drifting down the river of time, the two siblings matured into healthy young adults. But the core of their relationship did not change in the slightest. Nelly was very much attached to her brother, and as much as Mel complained, he still cared deeply for his sister. Around the time the sun had begun to set, carriages started lining up outside as well-dressed aristocrats made their way into the house. As Nelly had suspected, the majority of them were boys. Yes, I understand. You don't need to say anything more. Rose Manor, right? Okay, we'll go together. Me? Alone? No, please don't make me. The inhabitants of Rose Manor are surely living quite contented lives, and I'm sure they don't remember a thing. What? Okay. What? The room with the fireplace was always kept in pristine condition so they could entertain guests at any time. Walls colorfully decorated with tapestries and stained glass windows gave testament to their great fortune. Oof, they were rich as hell. The servants' first assignment every morning was to clean this room. I like the overlay of rose that was the same in the garden. There's like a rose symbol. Pitchers, silver plates, and silverware were polished to shine so they could be proudly put to use at a moment's notice. And for events like their daughter's birthday, the room served an even more important role. The tabletops were removable, so they had ordered new tabletops, with designs made especially for this occasion. And once the banquet had drawn to a close, tables speckled with half-empty wine glasses and leftover candied fruits were moved off to the side to make room for, of course, the festivities. Good evening, Lady Nelly. You look particularly lovely today. Nelly, I had these jewels cut just for you. You'll let me have this dance, won't you? Oh, Nelly. What's the matter, Nelly? You look exhausted. These are pretty good. Want one? I know you like sweets. There are apples candied in rock sugar, I think.
You disappoint me, dearest Mel. What do you think is the matter? They just keep coming. It never ends. It's driving me up the wall. Everyone's just repeating the same lines they've been taught. They all think pretty jewels and requests to dance are enough to make a girl swoon.
But I think that is true for you, Nelly. Though, why is she disappointed with me?
I think I'm done with birthday parties after this year.
They'll probably throw an even bigger one next year.
Huh? Why?
Well, you know, you're about that age, Nelly. We are a reasonably distinguished family, so there are a number of different houses that would like to have a connection with us.
So
what you're saying is do it for the family?
no, that's not.
I won't date or marry anyone. I have no interest in being used as a pawn for their interfamily politics.
Pawn? I wouldn't go that far. And I'm sure Father wants to let you choose yourself. You know, someone you actually love?
Love? I never thought I would hear you talk about love, dearest Mel. You don't even understand what makes Shakespeare's plays so beautiful, and you're talking about love?
Oh, so this is like, is this actual, like, historical? Well, not historical, you know what I mean? But is this, like, actually supposed to be, like, real life, IRL, 1800s, if Shakespeare exists? Unless it's, like, AU fantasy Shakespeare, which I guess is entirely possible. God, there's so much voice acting in this game I gotta do. I'm like, chugging water right now.
You fell asleep during Romeo and Juliet and you were talking about love? We went all the way out to the Globe Theater, too.
Well, pardon me for being ignorant when it comes to romance and the arts, but you're not, Nelly. Shakespeare's make-believe story made you cry like a baby.
Anyone would cry at that. You'd have to be crazy to sleep through it.
That's not what I'm saying. Someone as emotionally vibrant as you, Nelly, would have no problem finding love.
Dearest Mel, we should dance.
Lady Nelly, could I have this?
Let's dance, dearest Mel.
What? Me?
Wait Come on, I really like this song.
Quit pulling on me, Nelly. What's the point of us dancing? We're siblings. Mother and father are staring daggers at us.
No matter. What day is it today, dearest Mel?
Your birthday?
Exactly. So I can do what I want.
I'm a little scared of the vibes currently. I'm gonna be honest. I've been keeping it in because I'm like, I don't know. I'm worried. I will not speak of them as I don't want to jinx this, but I'm fearful of the vibes currently. I gotta be honest. I'm just really hoping they're just close siblings. I'm worried. I am fearful.
Exactly, so I can do what I want. Now, attend to your princess, as a proper prince should.
Oh, jeez. How'd I get myself into this? Nelly's skirt fluttered along with her as she stepped in time to the music. She was not only a skilled singer, but a skilled dancer as well. Mel, on the other hand, fumbled over his own feet, trying to keep up. One would be hard-pressed to describe his dance abilities as good, even as flattery. Though boys of his pedigree were taught to dance as part of their etiquette lessons, he found himself more dragged around by his sister. He could hardly be said to be attending to her. This is humiliating. Because his parents had been hands-off in raising him, largely giving him free rein to study and learn what he pleased, Mel looked like a tangled-up marionette. From throughout the hall, he could hear giggling, uncomfortable chuckling, and people coughing to disguise their laughter.
Come now, dearest Mel. If this is the best you can manage, what are you going to do when you find a girl that catches your eye?
I won't, so it doesn't matter.
Follow my lead, Mel. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Nelly alone enjoyed her time dancing with her brother, and quite thoroughly at that. It didn't matter to her that he awkwardly moved, or that the guests were giving them cold stares. It was their parents who first cracked under the pressure. Just as their father was about to give an exaggerated cough and stop the music, a ruckus suddenly swelled up near the entrance.
What could that be?
Who knows? Whatever's going on, I've been spared. Is this about the people that were talking about Rose Manor earlier? The music came to a stop and the party guests began bustling. The siblings' father spoke up sternly above the noise in order to quell the spreading commotion. He ordered the servants to investigate, had the music restarted, gave a short apology for the interruption, and set the party back on course. I went to go check on the entrance with the other servants, as I recall. Oh! I didn't fully get that she was still alive in this time. Obviously, like, I got that this was her memory, but I thought maybe she was able to, like, look through time. I don't know. Well, I guess we can look through... I guess she can look through time in a way to show others, but I wasn't sure. Interesting. What is she? That's interesting. Oh my, why are you looking at me like that? These are not my memories, but those which dwell in the mansion. Do you think we should be following what happens next from my perspective, then? That is not what confused you? Well, your question shall be answered in time. I see that I, in game, also thought the same thing. In time. Now, let us return to our tale. Though the party had fallen still for a moment, their father's decisive actions restored the guests' festive moods in short order. So it was not by any means the commotion that caused the ball to conclude earlier than planned. Oh dear, I hear thunder. It was rather loud, too. Sounds like we have quite the storm brewing. They lived in a country where the weather was nothing if not unpredictable. Rain was frequent occurrence here. Is this England? Is this Britannia? Where are we? I mean, if Shakespeare exists, I feel like this has got to be a real country. Or it's a fake country in real time? I don't know. The stretches of time with clear skies grew longer as summer approached, but the weather was still somewhat unstable, as the cusp of the two seasons. They had a strong wind that night as well, which turned the raindrops into little spears on the window. Were the party to continue any longer, no one would be able to go home. Although their father was quite concerned that Nelly had not gone on with any of the aristocrat boys, he decided to cut the festivities short.
Thank goodness it ended early. How lucky I am. This must be a blessing for always being such a good girl.
I'm not sure having your own birthday party cut short counts as lucky.
But it was no fun. I can't help it if I'm not enjoying myself. And for heaven's sake, Arthur was here. I have no interest in dancing with that dunce.
Arthur? Who's that again? Someone who was here?
Unbelievable. You don't remember anything, do you, dearest Mel? He came over to play a few times when we were little. He's covered in gross freckles and he's a huge jerk. He said my hair looked like the color of fallen leaves. Fallen leaves! Just thinking about that ugly smirk has me fuming. And yet he acts like nothing happened. He even calls me Lady Nelly, for goodness sake. Are you listening, dearest Mel?
I'm listening. I wonder what that ruckus earlier was.
You weren't listening, were you? Who cares about that?
Sorry, but aren't you curious? It probably wasn't another guest, at least.
Maybe a cat sneaked in.
You think so?
I do. But enough about that. Would you like to play cards in my room, dearest Mel?
Seriously? I'm exhausted, though.
It's not even that late.
Fine. Something feels kind of off. A cat? I want to go
Come on, hurry up.
Hold on. You don't need to drag me, Nelly.
My birthday isn't over yet, so you're not done attending to me.
Oh, Nelly. A cat, huh? Interesting. The rain just won't let up. I can't sleep. I wonder what the commotion earlier was about. Oh, for goodness sake. It's all the storm's fault. That's why I can't sleep. I'm just fretting over nothing. I'm sure Nelly was right. It was just a cat. Maybe a dog? I don't think it was just a cat or a dog. I can't sleep. I hardly ever have this much trouble falling asleep. What could this feeling be, I wonder? It's not quite foreboding. Walking around the house at this time of night isn't going to help anything. But I'm not going to fall asleep just lying here.
The only sounds that could be heard in the dark corridors were the sharp pitter-patter of the rain, his footsteps, and his breathing. Though he was intimately familiar with the layout of the house, that night the hallways felt like an endless labyrinth veiled in shadows. No moonlight shone through the windows, so he naturally found himself moving cautiously, despite being in his own residence. Keeping the palm of his hand pressed up against the chilly wall, he put one foot in front of the other. But to where was he supposed to head? Mal, of course, had no way of answering that question himself. If he had anything, it was guidance from above, the path to his destination lit by flashes of lightning. Or perhaps there was something else leading him along. Though he progressed with a fair bit of hesitation in his step, Mal was slowly but surely drawing nearer to one room in particular. He made his way through the seemingly endless halls. Past the living room, its fireplace long since cooled. Where is he going? Into another corridor. And then stopped outside an Abigail's chamber. An Abigail's? What does that mean? To Google. 1 second. Oh, a lady's personal maid. The more you know. Okay. I've never heard that. The dim glow of the lamp spilled through the cracks in the door. A gust of wind is not necessary to make a flame flicker. A person's movements or vibrations in the air from someone speaking, the slightest of motions can cause the light of a fire to quiver, shifting subtly as though nudged by an invisible fingertip. I can see the light from inside. Is she still awake? A voice. He seemed to be hesitating. It would not be difficult for him to approach the door and peer inside, but he had reservations about peeping in another's bedchambers, even if it was his own house. Moreover, this room was assigned to a woman. There was a woman behind that door. What would you do, Master, in this situation? Would you succumb to your curiosity and gaze inside? Or would you respect the owner's privacy? I shouldn't be doing this, but the voice feels like it's calling to me? Or someone else. Yes, me, could sense someone watching me at that moment. Oh, what's in there? Someone watching me? As in the maid? He had succumbed to his curiosity. He stood on the other side of the door from me, his flaxen eyes open wide, trying to remain as invisible as possible. What's in there? What is that? That looks spooky. The wavering in his heart seemed to create faint ripples in the air, which I pretended not to notice. Yes, I knew he was there. I could sense his presence and his wavering emotions. However, I could not begin to speculate as his true feelings or how great a surprise this was to him. I, too, am discovering new facets of this tale by viewing it through the eyes of the mansion. But it is not I who is of concern, Master. It is you. You and... I know I shouldn't be doing this. I should be ashamed of myself. Is it more revealed now? What is that? And I can't look away. Who is that? Is that the maid? Her skin is so pale you can practically see through it. Is it white because she was out in the cold rain? Her hair is white as snow and her eyes, they're like, how do I describe it? My vocabulary truly lacks for situations like this. They look like blood? No, that's just disturbing. Then wine, perhaps? Is this the maid talking in his head? No, more translucent than that. Gemstones, then? Yes, gemstones. Her eyes are like rubies. I've never seen anyone like her before. What could they be talking about? Is the peculiar woman us? Like, are we the white-haired lady? And, I mean, I guess the maid's in here. Mal's eyes were fixed on this peculiar young woman. She had glass-like skin, eyes that glimmered in the flickering candlelight, and snow-white hair that flowed like luxurious silk. But her lips were bluish-purple, her soft, delicate skin sullied with grime. Her twinkling eyes pointed down to the floor, and her hair a disheveled mess. She was even at a glance
clearly not a lady of means. The tips of her fingers were cracked from the cold, and her nails pale from the malnutrition, and her garb little more than rags. However, true beauty is always visible, no matter what it may be hidden beneath, even wrapped in a veil of insalubrity, even if she thought herself hideous. I wonder what happened to her. Mal could no longer avert his gaze from the girl's visage. He had, for the time being, forgotten the shame he felt from peeping. As he strained his ears to hear the conversation taking place inside, a sickly voice arose from the white-haired girl's purple lips. So feeble was the sound that a gentle breeze blowing through the room could carry it away.
I apologize for the trouble. Think nothing of it. Give your apologies and thanks to the mistress. Understood. There is something strangely comforting about this home. Almost as if I've been here before. If my father were here, I'm sure he would be quite fond of it.
I'm sorry about your father.
There's nothing you could have done, I imagine. When you came to our rescue, he was already...
Rescue? Father? Was that perchance what the commotion was about? He stared intently, entranced by the scene unfolding beyond the door. A gaze can often signal one's presence to others more effectively than words. The white-haired girl could likely sense him there as well. She flicked her gem-like eyes upward. That was when the boy finally felt a pang of panic. For a split second, his flaxen eyes met her ruby eyes, causing him to recoil from the door. Let me look at her full outfit, now that we had her look up. Ah! I was gonna say beggar, but no, the beggar was the bald man. Ah! Poor. His heart was pounding like the rain outside. Careful not to make a sound, he took 1-2 steps away. Did she catch me? I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on here, but this is still spooky. Like, I don't know what this is. It was only for a moment. She can't have seen me. The boy did not have the courage to peek in on the room a second time, so he cautiously returned to his bedchamber as quietly as he could manage. Oh, hello, Echo. But even beneath his covers, he could not erase the girl's eyes from his memory. Her melancholic red irises, her voice delicate as a glass sculpture, her pale, almost lifeless skin, her pure white hair. Every singular detail kept him from banishing her image from his mind, nor could he restrain his heavily pounding heart. Who could she be? Oh, yeah, that's definitely the maid with longer hair. Or maybe her hair is always that length and we just could see it only from the angle. I don't remember. So I wonder if that's us. It might be.
Is something the matter?
No, I thought I felt someone watching us.
It's only your imagination, I'm sure. If not your imagination, then perhaps some unforeseen force was watching you.
Unseen force?
Are you familiar with how people refer to this mansion?
Rose Manor.
Yes, indeed. It is called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the rose garden even at a great distance. But that's not what I meant. It is said that a witch resides within this house.
Is that you?
A witch?
I've not heard any such stories.
You probably wouldn't have. It was a very, very long time ago. Nothing you need to concern yourself with.
Is that you? That you? You have a peculiar presence about you.
Should I consider that compliment? It's getting late. You should get some rest. A room has already been set aside for you. But first, may I ask you one thing?
Yes?
I do not believe you've given me your name yet.
My name is... I'm going a little deep for her. I didn't mean to do that. Oh. Wake up.
Get up, Mel.
What? It's morning?
You disappoint me, dearest Mel. It's very much long since morning. I didn't see you at breakfast, so I came to find out what was the matter.
I've really been asleep that long?
And father is too lenient on you, dearest Mel. Oversleeping is hardly proper behavior for a firstborn son.
I know. But before that...
Yes, dearest Mel?
What are you doing in here? You can't just go prancing into a boy's bedchamber. Leave that to the servants.
I did send one for you. You're the one who refused to wake up. Besides, it's not like we're strangers. We used to sleep together all the time.
That was long ago. Things are different now.
Oh, you're overthinking it, silly. Now hurry up, out of bed, sleepyhead.
All right, I'm getting up. So, you can see yourself out.
Oh my, you look awful, dearest Mel. For someone who overslept, you look like you didn't get a wink last night.
You think so?
You didn't go out on the town last night, did you? Naughty, naughty boy.
I would never. You know that.
You squeaked. I don't think I believe you.
I didn't go out last night or anything. I'm tired because you had me playing cards until late, Nelly.
Hey, you weren't playing for that long. And besides, look at me. I got up just fine.
Anyway, shoo. Can't get dressed with you in here.
Fine, I'm leaving.
Phew.
Oh, I almost forgot, dearest Mel.
What now?
Come on, no need to be mean. I'm sure you'll be quite surprised at the news.
Oh?
At breakfast, which you missed, Father told us.
Told you what?
Do I really want to say? Sounds like you want me out of your room, dearest Mel.
Please, Nelly.
We got a new maid today from a house we have ties to, supposedly.
Oh, is that the white-haired girl?
I've never seen anyone like her before. For supposedly coming from a good family, she isn't very graceful, and I've never seen her at social gatherings. But that's not the surprising part.
Does that mean...
She's peculiar. She has a very unusual appearance, that one.
Have white hair?
What? How do you know that, dearest Mel?
Thanks, Nelly.
Hey, get back here! Oh, for goodness sake, what's gotten into him? Bah.
Okay. I think we're gonna end here. And we'll pick back up. I feel like this is a pretty good stopping point. Just because I'm, like, getting pretty into it at this moment. So, like, maybe you guys are too. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like... I mean, I think the maid is us, potentially. I could be wrong. It could be some rando. But, I don't know. With the memories of the mansion, it makes me feel, like, weird. I mean, from the sounds of it, like, we and the maid are potentially tied to this house. I'm not quite sure I fully understand what's going on, but I don't think I'm supposed to, so it makes sense. This is a much bigger mystery than I was thinking, honestly. But so far, I'm pretty into it. I like the art style. I like the writing, and I like the vibes. The music's stunning too, so I'm excited to see more of this. If you like it, let me know. Maybe I'll continue. Hopefully, I'll continue this. I'm saying maybe because I have a bad habit of not continuing games that I try to play off of stream just for YouTube. But if you want me to keep playing it, make sure to comment down below and let me know. Hopefully it'll encourage me to get back to it and I can get recording it soon. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. All my socials are down below and at the end. If you want to check out my Twitch, I'm live like 5 days a week or whatever. I'm doing things over there. It really mean a lot to you if you like, comment, subscribe, whatever. But yeah, thank you.
Have a good day. Goodbye, all. Thanks for watching.